Welcome, everybody. Great to see everybody coming in here. Get my camera switched around right here. Good to see everybody popping in the comments. We've got first Vaughn. Howdy, Vaughn. Good to see you. Hope you and Julie are doing well. We've got the Birders Way podcast popping in here. Great to see you there. So studying for their camera radio technician license. Music turned out a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me a little better. All right. We've got, of course, we got Stingray, KJ5, GIH. Good to see you. Terry. Sorry, Terry, you were number 4. Great to see you, Terry. Luigi. India Tango 9, India Kilo Yankee. Great to see you. Great to see you. What else we got here? Start dropping those questions, comments in the chat, because this is a Q&A, and we don't have any really set list here that we're gonna follow. We're just gonna try to get some Q's aid today. That's the goal. We've got Ham DeLorean. Good to see you. Good to see you. Terry. Okay, Terry is W8TMB. All right. Vaughn, I think you're talking to Terry there. Calling for third. But a bit now 3 down here now, but a bit 4. No, we better not go down that road. Okay, so let's see here. Who else we got? Vaughn says missed me at Huntsville. Well, Vaughn, yeah, didn't work out this year, but appreciate the kind comments there. Listen from West Virginia. That's great. I'm gonna have to look up your podcast. I don't think I've ever heard it before. If you don't mind sharing your name, go ahead and throw it over at me. Tim, WinLink HF BBS. I'm with you on the WinLink. I'm with you on the HF. I'm not sure what BBS is. BBS. Let's see here. BBS is a term. It's an acronym I am not entirely familiar with. Throw some clarification there, and maybe we can get back to your question there. Pepe, our good friend from Switzerland, says perfect time in the evening, 22:17 in the evening in Switzerland. So that would be 10:17, I believe, is what we would call it PM. That's great, Pepe. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oliver Hodges saying hi. Hello, Oliver. Great to see you. I like your profile picture there. Looks like a beautiful tractor there in the picture. Chris, K2PTC, gonna stand by and listen. Great to see you, Chris. We got M7ILU from the UK. Good to see you. Good to see you. Curtis. Somebody here by the name of Curtis. Vaughn saying hi. Boy, you guys are dumping the comments on me. Keep throwing questions at me because we're going to get to them here shortly. Terry Bailey, KQ4MDM. Howdy, Terry. Good to see you. Ham DeLorean is WE9U. All right, there we go. Larry, KM4LEW. Great to see you. Bob Stone from Las Vegas, KM7ARX. Good to see you, Bob. Josephine, waiting on her call sign. That's great, Josephine. Got your ticket on Saturday. Awesome. Round of applause for Josephine. That's fantastic. Studied with ham radio prep, I hope. Our good Professor Jim and for BFR does a fantastic job with those courses. Michael Cook, just passed general using ham radio prep. There we go. KO4RWM. Michael, way to go. Absolutely way to go. I passed my general Well, it's been quite a bit over a year now with Ham Radio Prep before I even joined the team, and absolutely, it was the best way I could have studied. I really believe, and it's fantastic, fantastic. Uh, Michael, you need to get your World Radio League account now. So you need to get that set up totally free for all your basic logging needs. Go sign up at World Radio League. There you go. Let's see here. Go ahead and throw that worldradioleague.com. Throw that link at y'all in case you don't have that link. // go and throw all that nonsense in there and post that out to y'all. There you go. Y'all should be getting that link. Then we've got, what frequencies are the most common in West Virginia? Well, I'll get back to that question here in a few minutes. Well, I'll go ahead and kind of answer this now. I would say look up, see if there are any clubs in your area, see if there are any repeaters in your area. If there are like local repeaters, your clubs have local repeaters, that type of thing. That's where you're going to get a lot of local traffic through those repeaters. If you're not using a repeater, 146.52 is the 2-meter simplex calling frequency. So, if you're just out driving around, see another ham with an antenna, holler at them on 146.52. Likely they'll be listening. But I other than that, if you're talking now HF frequencies, there's no really set frequency that's more common in one area than another. But I would check your local area for repeaters. Look up repeaters in your area. There's some sites that will show you repeaters based off of your location, and that should kind of give you a good idea where a lot of the local traffic's going to be. Oliver says, brand new to the hobby, what is one thing you wish you did differently that you'd tell new hams to do? I'm gonna pin that one. I'm gonna pin that one, Oliver, and come back to it. That's a very interesting question. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute. I'll come back to that one. Michael Cook says from Tampa, Florida. Can World Radio League auto send to MacLogger DX? We don't have a direct MacLogger DX integration yet, but feel free to submit a support ticket or actually just request in the community.worldradioleague.com. Put in a request there, and we'll get that added to our discussion queue. W0UQJ Kelly, hello, good to see you. We've got one in here from Norway. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna horribly mispronounce your name if I'm not careful. So I will say hello for now. And hope you're doing very well. Vaughn, my poor American vocabulary here struggles with other cultures and phrases and names from other cultures. My poor American vocabulary suffers in that area. Vaughn says, good to see James and the Professor Jim and the crew at Huntsville. Yes, they were all down there. Glad you're able to see them, Vaughn. Caleb, all right, good to see you, Caleb. Great to have you here. Feel free if nobody has joined our Discord yet, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and grab you an invite link. I'm going to throw it in here. Feel free to, I think we have a personal promotions channel on that Discord. So feel free to throw your podcast link over there if you want to. But here's the invite link. James is in the house. Hello, James N0APX, our CEO. Great to see you.
Hey, Andy, how you doing? Yeah, great to make the live. Thanks for getting it kicked off here.
Okay, James, I'm sorry, but your audio is almost completely non-existent. You're very, very quiet.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, horrendously quiet here. I'm gonna keep working through a few of these comments while you're adjusting your audio level there. Give me a thumbs up when you're good to go. Tim says mail option. Not sure exactly what you're saying there. Thank you for linking to QRZ. Great improvement. Absolutely, Larry. That's one we had on here for a long time. We're really excited to get that one going. BBS bulletin board system. Okay. I'll circle back to that question we had earlier here in just a little bit.
Is that any better?
System. Come again?
Is that any better? Same?
Man, I am having such a hard time here.
I will try to get this audio sorted.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. You're coming in terrible weak to me for some reason. Can't figure that one out.
In the comments, guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, guys, throw a Okay. Dave says good on his side, so it must be on mine. Give me a sec. Let me see where my audio's at.
We're 5-9 in the 5-9 in the comments.
I think I just found the issue. Give me a second here. Ah, there we go. Now we're good. Got it fixed. Okay. All right. So, James, glad you're here. What I'm doing is I'm just at this point working down through the comments because we're just doing a Q&A. I'm kind of responding to all the comments that are coming in and starring anything that's a question. We can get back to it here in a few minutes. But how you doing today? You doing all right?
I am doing awesome. Back from Huntsville Hamfest, so we had a really, really awesome time. I mean, Huntsville on Saturday it was super, super packed, and there was a bunch of people camping up at Montesano State Park, which was great. I got to go up and visit a couple days, and I had an insane POTA activation at Montesano on, I think it was, Saturday night. So Saturday night after Huntsville, I called CQ POTA on 146.52 and got like 40 contacts on 2-meter simplex. And it was just hilarious because I had like almost every YouTuber from the campsite. They were just, I was in a POTA trailer with Ken KC8ZKS, who's a big WRL user. And then a bunch of the other guys were over at another campsite. And then I got 40 contacts on 2 meters. So it was an absolute blast.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah, absolutely. Go through a few more of these introductions in the comments. Lewis from Portugal. Hey, Lewis. There we go. There's Curtis KJ5GIH. Hey, Curtis. Good to see you. Dave, KE6GAE, the Hillbilly Ham in the house. Good to see you, Dave. Great to have you popping in here. Oliver says the tractor is an Oliver. It's okay. That's why it's your profile pic. Yeah, I was commenting on his tractor earlier. I love that tractor in his profile picture there. And so it's an Oliver tractor. That's awesome. All right. What else do we have here? Tim, I'll get back to your question here in just a few minutes. Thank you for clarifying that. Absolutely, Dave. Reach out, DM me on Discord, and you got anything with COM ports, virtual COM ports, whatever you got you need to chat about, whether it's, me and Dave are actually going to be setting up tables like right next to each other at the Joplin, Missouri Hamfest this weekend. The JARC Hamfest. I'll be representing Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. And so me and Dave's tables are like right next to each other. So if you're going to be in Joplin, Missouri on Friday and Saturday, especially Saturday, it's the day I'll be there. I'll be doing a presentation on World Radio League. So come by and check us out down there. Harry, I don't think you've been in one of our streams before. Hello, Harry. Good to see you. KC1WKU. James, I had a bunch of new hams popping in the comments. We got new people saying they studied with Ham Radio Prep. Good to see all them showing up here. So, will WRL ever create a ham radio study guide series? It's called Ham Radio Prep. Go check it out. HamRadioPrep.com. We've got your technician, general, and amateur extra license courses, plus an MCOM course, space and satellite course, a ham radio basics course, HF master class. We've got it all. We've got it all there for you. So go check that out. Vaughn was saying that he was glad, James, he was able to run into you guys over there at Huntsville. So,
is that a POTA Power, Vaughn?
Yeah, absolutely, Vaughn.
Oh, hey, Vaun.
Yeah.
What is up, guys? Vaughn was teaching me how to work out. And
yeah, there you go. Okay, so
But,
this is somebody who's studying right now the Birders Way podcast. I need to check out that podcast, but whoever's behind that in the running the YouTube comments there saying they're studying with a ham radio prep book. That's awesome. That's awesome. We've got, here we go, Kevin Richardson says, brand new ham, just got your call sign, haven't even transmitted yet. KM7BXU. That's awesome, Kevin. Way to go. Way to go.
Kevin,
absolutely.
I got a tip for you. We have a really good video called how to make your first contact on ham radio. And I mean, really let me see if I can pull this up. I'll just drop the link in the chat. But if you haven't even transmitted yet, the best thing that you can do is just get another person with an HT, put them on the same frequency, and just make a contact across the house, across the room, and just get rid of the mic fright, basically. But I dropped the link.
And even another way to do it is just to tune in your local club's repeater and just holler at somebody, because those local clubs, those are usually really great guys, and they'll just holler back at you. I think Dave, in fact, was like one of my very first contacts on our local area repeater, and those guys are they're usually really good about that. Michael says he also has a call sign, he just hasn't made any contacts. Man, check out that video James just dropped in the comments there. Go check that out. Joe says great logging software. Thank you, Joe. We try. The Birders Way podcast already has a World Radio League account, just no license. That's fine. That's fine. Go start poking around, learn it, and then when you get your license, you'll be ready to go. Josephine says HRP is the best program due to the way that we provide material in bite-sized chunks. Josephine just passed her test using ham radio prep, so way to go, Josephine. Absolutely. Let's see here. I'm starring some of these comments and questions that we'll circle back to.
Let me give you guys while you're queuing up some questions, let me give you guys a real quick Hamfest update. Make one for hoods.
Apparently that used to be a local calling frequency, but anyway, that's awesome.
Well, hey, if you go to a Hamfest, 2 meter simplex is insane.
Yeah.
So this was our Hamfest crew. We've got actually Ken in the chat with us today. I used to always forget Ken's call, but I know it's KC8ZKS, which I'm remembering in my head now by KC8 Zucchinis. I don't know why that's what I'm using, but that's what I'm using. And this is Mike KE8NHH. This is my wife, No Call Valentina. She's studying for her nursing exam right now, so I'm not harassing her too much about ham radio. I'm just like, hey, do the nursing thing, and then we'll worry about ham radio once you get that done. But hey Pepe, good to see you, man. And Pepe, thanks for all of the work on the beta testing, man. You're incredible. Then of course I don't know why Jim has a banana, but that's Jim in for BFR. But I'll share a kind of cool fact about Ken. I will upload a video later so Ken let me operate from his comms trailer, which was sweet because I went from the comms trailer at Montesano National Park. I'll just show you my log really quick. So here we are at 1048, and you're going to notice a lot of these call signs. We need to add the name in here in the list. We'll get that soon, but there's W5, ITR, that's Chase, I think. No, that's Robert. That's Robert, Digital Rancher. I've got K8MRD Mike in here. I've got Josh KI6NAZ. I got Ham Radio 2.0. It's like the YouTuber like crazy log here. So it was super fun. So 47 contacts in fastest 61 QSOs per hour. I think it was actually faster than that, but it was 47 contacts in 45 minutes. But I think if I actually take the fastest 20 minutes, I think it'll even be faster than that. And so once I get once I get the video from Ken, I'll show you guys that.
Hi to Kenneth, by the way. He's who James was referring to earlier. Hey, Kenneth, good to see you.
And cool kind of fun fact about Kenneth is he's actually if you go to the all-time leaderboard, Kenneth, who was with us, KC8ZKS, is actually the top most contacts of all time. So this is what I want my activity map to look like once I.
Oh, that's incredible.
We'll yeah, and this is the comms trailer that we were operating out of, which was awesome. And then Mike Dern, so he was also there, and he was operating out of the comms trailer with us too. So we had a blast there. We did have we had a lot of things that came out of it. You know, we have a lot of people that are using the web app, but if you guys haven't used the mobile app yet, there's a mobile app too. There was a lot of enhancement requests on the mobile app side. Some people are having an issue if it's going between online or offline. Like if you got a good connection, it'll work great. If you're completely offline, it also works great. But sometimes when you're going between online and offline, the app will have like a glitch. So we're working on that. But man, I can't even remember. So we have a full list of features to work on. So we're gonna be, trust me, we're gonna be busy for quite some time.
We've got Otis in the chat. Good to see you. We've got F4IYE in the chat. Good to see you too. Otis says he did a live stream the other day, got 17 QSOs in his activation. That's great. And I like this kind of comment, James. This kind of comment right here from Dave. WRL is an awesome logging suite. That's what we like to hear. Thanks, Dave. Maverick says he used HRP for tech in general, and he loves WRL. So absolutely.
This guy, I was just looking you up. K6 GAE, nice. This is an awesome profile picture. I'm curious, how did you create that, man? That looks. I always love the people that
He's the hillbilly ham on YouTube, so go check him out. Yeah.
Will do. And you also, some people have been putting a GIF in their profile picture, which I think Brad did that, didn't he? Where it'll actually move when you go to their profile.
I'm not sure if Brad did or not. He might have.
Check this out.
Sure.
This is what I need to do. But he's got his
cool.
Got his S meter there on his Yaesu, and it, like, when you go to the profile, it moves.
Yeah, that is so cool.
That's really
David. Cool. I'm getting some questions about I'm getting a lot of different questions here, so we'll get to those here in just a minute. But I want to hit a couple things here. Let's see here. Yeah, Tim's talking about using DMR to talk around the world with no HF antennas and just a tech license, which is a valid option. That's great. There's one comment I want to address here. Ham DeLorean says, best way to make a contact is to call CQ on a repeater. That may be true, but you will have somebody rather unhappy with you on the other end. So I would recommend not calling CQ on a repeater. I would recommend hollering out there saying, just asking, hey, is anybody on the frequency for a quick QSO? But if you start calling CQ, lots of times that frustrates some hams on repeater. So just want to make a point of clarification. I think that was satire, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I just wanted to clarify that point.
The way that Jim taught me to do it was to say call sign and then monitoring, and then sometimes somebody will just
that's always
or just
if you just want to just throw your call out there in case anybody wants to talk to you, that's perfect. If you're actually needing to make a QSO to check your equipment or whatever, you can always say, is anybody available for a quick QSO? Or radio check is another good one to throw out there. Radio check, is anybody available for a quick radio check? That's always valid things to throw out there as well. Tim is asking if WinLink HF bulletin board system is available or if it's legal. As far as I know, I'm not very familiar with bulletin board system, but I think there are some. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff. When you get past the legality of what frequencies you're operating on, and the fact that, and just make sure you're not like doing anything that's like interfering with other transmissions. It's very it's very open to all sorts of experimenting with all kinds of different softwares and stuff. So, you know, all kinds of digital modes, experimenting with those types of things. You know, I don't know of anything personally that I've heard, but you know, you can double check with the, you know, with some FCC rules, but I don't know of anything. This is a good one, James, and I'm just going to put this one up now, and we can answer it a little bit later. But just be thinking about this. Oliver says he's brand new to the hobby. What's one thing you wish you did differently that you'd tell new hams to do? I thought that was an awesome question, and we can maybe think about that one and circle back to it here in just a little bit.
I have an answer there, which is I wish I had gotten on HF faster. I think I was a little like it seemed very complicated, and then when you ask people for advice, you get so many different pieces of advice. But to me, it's like if you can get an HF radio, which we have a video on, you know, top 5 HF radios for beginners, which will really help. If you get an HF radio and you get an in-fed half-wave antenna, which is going to be your most economical choice for an antenna, you're really off to the races. And then you can do POTA, you can do POTA chasing, you can do activations, you can do hunting. And so I wish I had just been a little faster on the draw to get an HF radio and an in-fed half-wave, because it's just handhelds are great, but there's really only so much you can do locally. So I would have bumped it up a little faster.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely a fantastic answer, and I would agree on my end. As far as me personally, I'm not sure of anything that I wish I'd done differently, except maybe really jumping in and learning CW a little quicker. I think I was too scared to try to learn it. I just kind of passed it off as, oh no, I'll never be able to do that. But since they removed the requirement, then I can go ahead and get my ham license, but I'll never learn CW. It's kind of my thinking initially coming into it. But as I started into it, it really, things can appear a whole lot bigger and more scary than they really are. And so I would say just go join the Long Island CW Club, or grab a Morse code app, start watching Morse code POTA activations, start recognizing Morse code patterns. You'll start picking stuff up like 73 and CQ and 59 signal reports. You'll start picking that kind of stuff up and start and just get on the air. Just memorize your call sign in CW and your state abbreviation, and get on the air. And all you need to know, we just released a video on this. All you need to know basically is just like 4 or 5 basic things. You need to know your call sign. You need to know just 5NN, which is just a basic signal report that is fine to give that, even if the signal report's terrible. You can still give 599 if you're just starting. You give your state code, which mine is MO for Missouri. And then 73. And I mean, that's basically all you need to know to make a QSO. And just memorize those things, and then just repetitively make contacts. And you'll start picking up other stuff. Like you'll start realizing when he sends a BK to send it back over to you, or you'll start recognizing call signs. You'll start picking up on that. So I would say just jump on the air early on. As soon as you can get on HF with CW, just memorize those things, jump on the air with it, and give it a try. I think you'll really like it.
Well, you're preaching to me. That's what I need to do. But I like your suggestion though about like learning your call sign and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it gives you something a little bit more fun than just learning the letters. But it's funny because I do have like the instant character recognition for CQ, like dee 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 dee. So like I hear that and I'm like, okay, that's CQ, but I don't even think about the letters. And then I was talking to people and they're like, that's what it feels like when you know all the letters. The same way that you feel when you hear CQ, you know what it is. Once you get good and you get the instant character.
And also another good tip here. I love talking about this. Another good tip here is code talking. So instead of going D to D D, change that in your mind to the dash is da and the dot is dit. So and so it's like da 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 dit, da 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 da.
Da 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 da. Okay. So you say the dit.
Da 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 da. Yeah. So the dit only has the T if it's the last dot in in the sequence. Otherwise, it's dit. So it's da 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 dit, da 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 da. So that's CQ. My call sign is da dit da 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 da. That's N0APX. So, but
that zero is crazy, isn't it?
It's terrible. But it's my local call number, and I don't want to change it. Yeah, but yours would be you got a 0, don't you? So it's like
da 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 da. It's like da 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 da.
I think it's da 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 da. I believe is your call. One of my favorite, for some weird reason, one of my favorite Morse code characters is R. Da. I just like the way that one rolls for some reason. I like the R, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm weird, I guess.
Man, I have to say though, like after being at the Hamfest and talking to so many people and seeing what we're doing with WRL, it gets me so excited for like where we're headed. And I was thinking about Tank Radio. He made a really good video that you guys should watch. It's like he went around and he asked a bunch of people at the campsite what was the what do you think is the biggest thing to happen in or the best thing to happen in ham radio over the last like couple of years. And one of the things everybody said was Parks on the Air, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like a really big inspiration for what we're doing at World Radio League.
I would add World Radio League to that list.
but I mean, it's like when you make things fun and you give new ways to operate. 100%. Even if you're into amateur radio for let's say emergency communications or just having your own independent communications, if you go out and you do a POTA, you're learning the same skills that's gonna apply. And the same thing goes for contesting, even if you're just a casual contester and you're hopping in and doing that. So I think there's a lot of things we can do within WRL. Like one of the really good suggestions that I heard was allowing people to create your own groups or clubs, and then you can have like a little club leaderboard or other ways to kind of break up and do some other kind of games within the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some more stuff like that coming soon.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to a couple more of these questions. Pepe's asking when mobile templates will be available, because our current mobile setup isn't really there's some, I think in some other countries outside of the US, the SOTA and POTA templates are set up a little bit different. We've got that definitely in the queue. We're in the middle of a really intensive database upgrade. Once that's finalized, absolutely mobile templates is on the docket
and mobile templates is it's actually, we talked about it this morning, that mobile templates is in the top 5. It's in the top 5 things, because number one, as Pepe sent some really good info about, especially if you're in Europe, you don't want the state. Then you have, then you have to think about then satellite logging. That you need to make sure that works on mobile.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. We were just talking about that in a meeting this morning. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, another one of the top 5 is desktop app. So look for those two very shortly after this database upgrade is finalized, which we're really looking forward to this, because we're gonna, after this upgrade's done, it helps you on your end to have faster response times, that type of thing. Everybody, all our users on our end, it helps us to be able to nail better and even better analytics dashboards, all types of stuff that we can do now after this upgrade. So just keep an eye out, because we're gonna have some exciting stuff coming. Steve says, what are the steps to get to the general test, starting with technician license earned? Go to Ham Radio Prep, get the general course, and study it top to bottom, and then take practice tests until you can score 85% or higher. And if you can consistently score at least 85%, you'll do just fine on the general test. And we have, if you follow our course, we offer you 100% guarantee it will work or your money back. So just go grab our course. It's awesome.
And
it's awesome. That's what I use for my general.
Definitely download the app too,
app,
because it'll track your progress by section. And even another thing too is, now I've just been testing with mine, so my numbers are really bad. But when you get to your practice test, I don't know if you guys can see this, it'll actually tell you when you're ready to take the exam.
Yeah.
So it'll make sure you're averaging over 85%, and then it'll say your exam ready. So
Chris K2PTC says he's playing with N0APX. He says the integration works, but if he deletes a QSO from N0APX, it does not delete from WRL. So this is not a bi-directional sync. This is a one-way stream from N0APX straight to your World Radio League account. It just streams your contacts through, and they're logged in your World Radio League account. Anything you change in N0APX after that does not affect what's already sent to World Radio League. It's just a one-shot stream. Every contact you log just logs across to World Radio League. So hopefully that clears that up. If you have any further questions, just let us know. Tim says, why are there no SSB repeaters? I think there are. I believe there's some SSB repeaters. I think. Yeah, here we go. Somebody said there are. There's one in Puerto Rico. I think there's one in. Oh, I can't remember where it's at. Anyway, there's maybe in the Bahamas or somewhere. I think there's SSB repeaters. They're out there. They're just kind of hard to pin down, hard to find exactly where they're at. But yeah, they're definitely out there. I think this is Brian. He's telling Oliver, Oliver's the one who asked about the one thing we wish we'd have done differently. He's telling Oliver, don't be afraid to experiment, fail, and learn, then try again. That's one thing I would say that I would tell you to do. Experiment, fail, learn, and try again. That's awesome advice, because, whether you're playing with building your own, 2-meter quarter wave ground plane antenna a little bit. I built one of those right off after I got my license. Put it up on a 30-foot mast. It's just so fun, all the things you can do. Just experiment and try, really. Just get out there and give it a shot. We've got Andrew saying, is there a plan for WRL to allow for QSO cards? I think he's talking about QSL cards to be generated and sent to people you log contacts with. So currently, you can, let me share my screen real quick. And James, I'm gonna shock you here, but I'm actually running in dark mode today. Can you believe that?
Yes, finally.
Not sure I'm gonna keep it there, but I'm running in dark mode right now. Okay, so here's one I just made this morning with November 3 Echo Mike Tango in Pennsylvania. So if I grab this, and you can see here, I just click on this little eye icon, pulls up this little single contact view. This is also a nice little QSL card. It's got all your QSL information. You can download that or copy a link and email it. Now, we don't currently have the ability to automate this process, but I think that's something that's on our discussion list, maybe, James. I think we've got that on our discussion list for future possible.
It's in the roadmap, but it's
okay. Awesome.
Let me see. It's a little bit out. I won't even throw a date on it, but it's on the roadmap for sure.
No worries. And I think Andrew was asking that. Ham DeLorean was asking about that, and I think there was that's another one from Andrew. Yeah, absolutely. So it's on the roadmap, Andrew and Ham DeLorean. So Pepe is asking how Huntsville was. Were there a lot of new WRL users recruited?
There were a ton of new WRL users recruited, and a lot of existing users that we got to show them some different things that they hadn't tried before in WRL, which was cool too. But yeah, definitely a lot. Huntsville's one of those regional Hamfests, so we're in Alabama, but we're running into people from Texas and Kentucky and Georgia and Florida and everywhere in the region pretty much. Even some people we didn't have a lot of out of country folks, so none of your European representatives were there. Pepe, unfortunately, we didn't have any Switzerland in the Hamfest, but yeah, we had a really good turnout.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Pepe makes a good point here. He says in Germany and Switzerland it's normal and correct to call CQ on 2 meter or 70 centimeter repeater, and the U.S. is different. Yes, unfortunately, the U.S. is different. I kind of wish it wasn't that way, because I mean that just
we might as well
just
do
that.
Can we just change that? Can we just say like
Pepe write a letter to every club here in the U.S. and tell them what you guys doing.
So here's an idea. Here's an idea for you. I wrote somebody at the Hamfest was saying oh yeah, but so and so repeater is dead or something, and I started thinking to myself, we should just have like a repeater competition or something, and just be like, hey, let's see, let's like have like a sprint and see who can get the repeaters active. And I mean, without being annoying about it, you don't want to like tie up like a repeater for if it's actually in use or something. But yeah. I feel like people just need a little bit of a reason to engage with the repeaters, like
absolutely. Like around here we have a Skywarn program, so that works in bad weather and stuff. We jump on there and use the Skywarn system. But I mean, yeah, there's nets here and there, but not everybody joins the nets all the time. I don't even myself. But yeah, there ought to be something where we can really get more usage out of them, because as they say, when you're dealing with the FCC, use it or lose it. So we might as well put our bandwidth to use. So Taz says gotta run. Thanks, Taz, for dropping by. Good to see you. Here, I think I've got a few more queued up here. There we go. Dave says he wants to say thank you to the WRL team and developers for all the work being done on WRL, and also being so responsive to all of you doing beta testing. You know what? Brad and Ryan, Catalina, and then the whole dev team, those guys are just absolutely on it. They're fantastic. They've been hard at it, keeping up with all these, and just huge shout out to them. Hopefully some of them are watching. I've been trying to keep up with a lot of this myself, but they're really doing a great job over there. So shout out to those guys. Hopefully some of them are watching and can see this comment from Dave, but appreciate it, Dave. Thank you. Eric says, will confirmed contacts and QRZ logs be able to transfer over to WRL logbook in the future? I think it's something we discussed, James. Is that like in our queue for discussion, or is that on the roadmap, or where are we at? I think we were going to do like a manual confirmation option, weren't we?
It's a really good question. Like, right, because right now we only have one type of confirmation. So the only confirmed contacts are if both users have it in WRL. So what we need to do on the back end is we just need to create different types of confirmations, so that it's like, okay, this one was confirmed because both users had a WRL contact. That's type 1. This contact was confirmed because it was imported and QRZ had the confirmation in it. So we can definitely do that. We just have to introduce the concept on the back end of confirmation types, and then it'll allow us to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, what else do we have here? We've got Tim saying beginner ham and automatic tuner helps a lot. Yeah, I honestly love the G90. There's people who love it and people who hate it, but it has an amazing internal tuner. And I mean, 20 watts, that's solid for a POD activation or something. It's not QRP. It's way above QRP levels, but it's double QRP levels, I should say. And that gives you, I think, 3 S units. But it's absolutely. I really like the G90. It's a great one. It has a great internal tuner. Anthony says he started with a G90 and just upgraded to a 710. Congrats on the upgrade. That's great. KF4BOG. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in here for a while, so good to see you. Good to see you back over here. 7-3 to Stingray. He says he's got to go.
I saw KF4BOG, Michael. Yeah, I saw you at the Hamfest. Yeah, good to see you, Michael.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. He's been. In fact, I think I brought him on the stream one time. Even he's He's been with us for quite a while. Let's see here. We got David says that he prefers to call CQ NCW. It's much better. Yeah, absolutely. I would have to agree with you there. He also says Potasoda and WWFF are just fine to improve CW skills. I still think that that's one of the best ways you can do it. Just get on the air. Get on the air. That's a very a typical rag chew QSO is going to be really hard to keep up with if you're new, but the structured POTA soda exchanges are just almost always the same, very easy, and just great to practice with. Maverick says, asking what y'all's home antenna setups. Anybody in HOAs? I'm not in an HOA. I have a 20-meter dipole strung up between two trees in my pasture outside. But Larry says that he is in an HOA using a flagpole antenna. So, James, you don't live in an HOA, do you?
I don't live in an HOA, but because of the way my backyard slopes down, I also am not really in a good position to get a tower. So I also use a just a center fed dipole for 20 meters. I actually came home from the Hamfest and it has fallen down. So now I got to put that up. But again,
no.
I'm also I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up the 20 meter, and then I'm also going to put up an in-fed half wave, and I'm going to compare them against each other. I'm going to see what I like better, and that would also give me 40 meters and probably. I mean, although I guess I could, my 20 meter dipole, I didn't really have much luck on 40 meters. I don't know if you've tried yours on 40, Andy.
A 20 meter dipole, it's rough on 40. I put up a 40 meter dipole a while back. When I was in my old shack, but after I built the new one, I haven't got one back up, and yeah, 40's rough. 40's really rough if you don't.
Yeah, 40's rough if you. But with my infed, 40 meters is like chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, 40 meters on an infed. Infed 40 is. I like an infed 40 antenna. They're solid. So let's hit a couple more here. Ed's asking how the desktop app is coming. I think you might have dropped that comment before we covered that, but if in case you missed it, we're in the process of a major database upgrade. Once that's completed here in a few weeks, that's like next on the docket is the desktop app, and we're super excited. It's probably 60, 70, 80% of the way there. We just need to finalize this database upgrade so we can integrate everything properly, and then we'll do the launch, and we're super excited. Did you have anything to add to that one, James?
Nope. Just okay. Make sure. I mean, we do send a weekly update, so you'll get to see a lot of the smaller stuff that's coming in the meantime.
Absolutely.
We don't. It's not like the nice thing about World Radio League, I'll say too, is like we don't have like a waterfall system. It's not like you have to wait for like a big release every couple months. It's like we make releases every week, right? But for some of these bigger things like desktop app, we just have to spend a little more time and make sure the V1 is good because it's going to sync up to the web. So we want to make sure. Yeah, it'll run. We've already got the skeleton built. It'll run on Mac, Windows, Linux. We're using. It's going to be like an Electron app, so it'll have the same look and feel as the website, but built for offline.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And if you are on an M series Mac, you can download the mobile app right now and use that if you want to. But yeah, I'm super excited about this desktop app. It's gonna be great. Hamdalorian says POTA is great for beginners because it minimizes rag chew fright, but gets you comfortable talking on the air and using a log. That's right, because POTA is so structured that it's really easy to follow, and I definitely agree there. Pepe says, and this is good information. Pepe says for Soda and POTA, in Europe they don't usually share the state, but they share first names and sometimes the city. So that's really interesting. Yeah, we do that. We usually share state instead here in the US. So that's solid information. Glad to hear that. there you go. Dave says, I think this is in reference to our conversation earlier, says if you're not failing, you're not learning, which is, yeah, that's accurate. He also says the only way he runs the app is dark mode. Come on, Dave.
Let's go. That is the way.
Here.
That is the way.
Boom. No, I'm kidding.
No. It burns.
All right. Okay. Hillbilly said, Dave says we need to go to Huntsville next year. Oh, we might be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it next year or not, but maybe one of these years I might make it down to Huntsville for a day or something. But yeah, I think Dave's planning on going next year, James. So you might run into him down there next year.
Would love
David
to see
says
that.
he's had a pretty big log since 1986. Which will be the best plan, basic, premium, or VIP? It depends on how many contacts you're trying to import. What's our cap on the premium plan, James? Do you?
So
There you go. You got it pulled up.
Yeah, I'll show you that. If you go to app.worldradiologue.membership, you can see. But I want to just to give a little bit of context here is we are always going to maintain a free level where you can do all of your basic logging, right?
Yeah.
The main reason why there's import limits in the first place is because as we get a lot of contacts and keep them in the cloud, our cost scales up. So the most important thing is the level of support for our hardworking team. It's more like kind of choose the level of support you're comfortable with. But as far as import limits, it's 10,000 for basic, 300,000 for premium, and then unlimited for VIP. And you're going to start to see over time, especially for different levels of paid membership, as we roll out new very premium features. We'll keep the basic logging experience free, but any user who is a member is going to get more and more of the premium features. I think even on the integration side, right? Like I think there are some limits on QRZ and LOTW
and
that
the analytics dashboard. That's gated off. So, but I will say, if just to clarify, if you're a new ham and you've got it's capped at, if you've got 3,000 or less contacts in another software and you're wanting to migrate over to World Radio League, you still migrate 3,000 contacts for free. We give you 3,000. But
in fact,
if you're
Easter
importing
egg for you.
Yeah.
Easter egg is like your first import, it'll actually let you go up to 10,000. That's kind of an Easter egg though, because but the real limit for free should be 3,000. After our database upgrade, by the way, there's going to be a major improvement to the speed of your import and export. So if you've ever noticed that we benchmarked it. So I think we benchmarked it on like a 300,000 contact log. In our old database, it took, I think 10 minutes or something?
2 to 3 minutes. I think they took it from there was one they took from 2 to 3 minutes. Sorry, I don't mean to jump in on you here. I think they took one from 2 to 3 minutes down to 10 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, like a couple seconds. At first. So
or maybe 2 seconds. I can't remember. It was something insane. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible. But yeah, so David, just to answer your question, it really depends on how many contacts you have. But as long as you have 500,000 or less, I would say premium will do all you need it to do. And just to make sure we clarify this point, you will not be capped at logging a maximum number of contacts in World Radio League. You can log as many as you want to. It's the imports that we're capping you on there. So thank you for the question, David. That was a good one. Rick says he's late to the meeting. KQ4Y. Good to see you, Rick. Good to have you back on here. N1MM still showing frequency is 28.2 instead of 28.2 in the cat control. N1MM is showing. Yet if I export, it shows up correctly. Okay, Rick, why don't you open a bug? If you're saying that our software is showing something incorrectly, I'm trying to make sure I understand you there. Go ahead and just open a bug report. Just click that report a bug button on your World Radio League account and just drop a note in there. Maybe you can use something like loom.com to record a quick screen recording of what you got going on, and just send that over to us. We'll jump on it, and we'll take care of you. Whatever's going on there, we'll fix it if there's an N1MM connection issue there for some reason. I think I got some thunder moving in. Might have a thunderstorm. Better switch my antenna. We've got. Oh yeah, Echolink. Echolink is a good place to start if you're a new ham and you don't have a radio yet. You can just download the Echolink app, set up an Echolink account, and you can jump on repeaters all over the world that are set up with Echolink. So that's a good option. Thank you, Lewis, for pointing that out. David says he enjoys the spotting tab alongside his log, and basically automatically logging a QSO. He wants to make, which yeah, I've been using that like crazy. I was sitting in here earlier hunting POTA stations, and it's literally like double click, it automatically sets my radio to that frequency. I can see if I can hear the station or not. If not, I go to the next one, double click, oh, I can hear him, make the contact, click log, double click the next spot. It's just so seamless. So absolutely, that is so
somebody also had a really good suggestion in the community that I saw, which is adding a next button. Let me share my screen really quick.
Yeah,
so by the way, if you guys haven't dropped, we review these, we review the community like all the time. I wish we had a way to vote on these, but Discourse that we're using doesn't, like, they're trying to charge us a bunch more money to anyway, long story short, you can add a new topic in here if you have a feature request, and just tag it as a feature request. If you have it, I recognize a lot of familiar names in here, but this is one that's kind of like a low-hanging fruit by into JOV, who has his cake day today. Is if we had a next button on the spots. So like today, of course, if you go into your logger and you go into the spot, you can double click the spot and it'll copy it to your log. But it would be almost kind of cool if like you had almost like a next button, and you could just click next to go to the next spot, especially when using that cat control. So just thought I'd throw out an interesting related feature request there.
Absolutely. So let's see here. There's Jacob. Hey, Jacob, good to see you. James, you ran into Jacob down there in Huntsville, didn't you?
I did. I got an interview with him too, so we'll post that on YouTube pretty soon. Good to see you, Jacob.
Awesome. And then, he said good. He said good to meet you in Huntsville. Let's see here. Let me grab this next one here. Pepe says in Switzerland, we have a 1-day contest where you use 80 meter single sideband, 2 meters, 70 centimeters FM direct, and 2 meters, 70 centimeters FM repeaters. Busy repeaters that day. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. That's really cool. I'll have to look into that contest. That's interesting. It'd be kind of a fun one to be able to do a contest over a repeater. That seems like it would be kind of a cool way to do it. But
yeah, absolutely.
It would definitely jam up the repeater for a while, but it would be fun.
Well, I mean, if somebody
similar to doing it over a satellite,
Yeah. And if anybody has, I mean, you just have to be careful. The one thing I always want to be careful with is like nets, or if somebody comes through with some emergency traffic or something. So you just have to make sure people are educated.
Repeaters and that type of thing. Yeah, for sure. Tom says, does anyone else have any experience with the 3D globe graphics seeming to lag on Chrome? Chrome will eat memory on an old laptop like nothing I've ever seen. I would try a different web browser than Chrome. If you got an old laptop, you said you got an old Surface Pro, Chrome eats memory like it's a memory hog. I like using Chrome. I love using Chrome because it syncs everything. But honestly, I've switched browsers for now. I may switch back eventually, but it was eating so much memory I could hardly. It's terrible. Brian says, I agree the World Radio League team and developers are implementing new features and bug fixes at a very fast pace. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to the Linux desktop WRL version. Absolutely. We've got a fantastic development team that's crushing it right now. So
thank you.
He also says the tuner on the G90 is world class. They need to find a way to extract it and make it a standalone product. It is an insanely good tuner. Yeah, Chris, absolutely. The desktop app will run on Mac, and I agree. Windows can be absolutely terrible. So thank you for that. Thank you for that comment there. Back to the HOA antenna question. Pepe says a little pole at a 45 degree on the balcony with an in-fed antenna. That's what he uses apparently. So there you go. Whoever asked that question earlier. And Michael says on the subscriptions, just go VIP. Well, we appreciate it if you do. Absolutely. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
David says he does have much more than 100,000 QSOs. I think the premium covers up to 500,000. Yeah, he said he's got 113,177. So yeah, I think premium should cover you. Ham DeLorean asked how hard it would be to show our POTA awards on our profile. And I actually brought up something here. I'll show you. We don't have a way to integrate them directly, but we do have a bio section. So I use this by WD4DAN. It's an iframe you can get on his website, and you can just plop this in your World Radio League bio section, and it just pops up, pops up like this. Really cool. The other thing you can do is literally take your PDF awards, put those pictures in here in your bio. You've got a very customizable bio section here. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. So I would recommend checking out your bio, adding stuff there. And I think, James, we were going to maybe at some point switch these tabs here over to defaulting to bio and then having logbook, then awards. So like your bio is the first thing you see on your page. I'm not sure if we've got
yeah,
that
I think a lot of people, I'm glad you showed that, because I think a lot of people just look at the log and don't even notice the bio because it's kind of tucked away. So we need to switch the order there.
It is a little bit, but absolutely, yeah. If we switch that priority around, I think a lot more people would probably use it. But it's the bio section is really cool. I mean, it's an underrated feature because you've got so many things you can do. Just go in your account and click that edit bio option and just look at all the stuff you can add there. Thank you for that question. That was a good one. Let's see here. Let me take this back down. What else we have? Soda Poda. Okay, yeah, we covered that one. Adam says, brand new ham and new World Radio League member. Looking forward to jumping into HF. Congrats, Adam. We'll give you the fireworks. Congrats, here. Adam. Congrats on getting your ticket there. That's great. That's fantastic.
Wait, how did you do that? How did you do the fireworks thing? How did you do the fireworks?
If you're on a Mac, you have to be on a Mac.
Oh, dang it!
Reaction.
Not on a Mac.
So, I'm come on, James. I'm using dark mode now. You need to use a Mac. No, I'm kidding. Oh man! All right. He says he's got his tech ticket 2 weeks ago and already working on general. Hopefully, you're studying with Ham Radio Prep because that I really think that's the fastest way to fast track your general license. It's awesome. James says he knows that guy on the right. Great name.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Doing us proud, James.
Absolutely. What else do we have here? Okay, he says he does have a question. Why are the spots on WRL and spots on Polo different? Do they not pull from the same site? Okay, we pull from, I think we're up to 6 or 7 locations. We pull, and you can filter these by however you want to filter them. We pull from the SOTA spotting page, the POTA spotting page, which is Parks on the Air, Summits on the Air, WWFF, Worldwide Flora and Fauna spotting page. We pull from 3 DX clusters, and we have our internal cluster. Yeah, James, go ahead.
Yeah. You said it. So you're probably just getting some extra data in if you have other clusters selected. But if you just select POTA, it all comes from the POTA website, so it should be exactly the same, plus or minus whatever filters you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can filter those down by whatever you want to filter them by. Like literally, I was talking about earlier, clicking down through those spots. The cool thing about that is I've got a 20 meter dipole outside, cat control app hooked up. I filter 20-meter single sideband. That's all the spots I get. So I can literally click on every one of those spots and know exactly, that I'm going to be, right in the confines of what I'm wanting to operate today. So it's really, really cool. Brian says, congrats, Adam, on getting your tech ticket punched. Absolutely, Tom. I was glad to be able to answer that question. James says he finds himself bouncing back and forth. I think he means between browsers. Yeah. And Enrique's sitting on Chrome. Yeah. Chrome's good. I love the sync on Chrome, but man, the I may try it again, but it eats memory so bad. World Radio League Cat Control works really well with Flex. Are you wanting to add TCI protocol into it? So we're looking at all the options beyond what we've done. We've got the current, the current Flex system. I think Dave, KE6GAE Hillbilly Ham, just posted a video on his YouTube channel about using it with his virtual ports, which is really cool. Virtual serial ports he has set up, and yeah, we're honestly right now we are looking at expanding all the ways we can with Cat Control. We've got a lot of different things we're thinking about moving in certain directions with it and expanding it even further. James, this is something I've talked to the dev that's working on this about. I'm not sure. Remind me to chat with you after the stream here. There's something we're cooking on that's kind of an expansion there. And but yeah, we'll TCI protocol. I'm gonna have to. I may have to bounce that off of him. But yeah, we're definitely looking at expanding in some really cool ways. So, and we're also probably going to be integrating maybe not V1 desktop app, but maybe shortly after V1 we'll be launching maybe an update with Cat Control directly integrated with the desktop app. So it's one download. You don't have to connect separate apps. So. For contesting, are we wondering to include WinKeyer? James, can you speak to this one?
I would say yeah, probably something we will consider, but I don't think we have it in the short term yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something we absolutely are going to need to do. But yeah, I think that's going to be. Yeah, we're probably a little ways off for that, but thanks for the reminder there, David.
Yeah, and Tom's saying, can we have an option to add the community awards to the featured section? So I think you get some awards in the community for some different things you do as a community member. We don't really have a crossover for those into your featured awards in your WRL account yet, do we?
No, I like that though. Like the community is, obviously our app is all of our own custom software, and then the community comes from a software called Discourse, and I think they have an API, so that's definitely something we could integrate. We just haven't figured it out. But yeah, that is cool that you got the I think you said new user of the month. That's pretty nice.
Oh, cool.
I wonder how they calculate that. It's probably based on, it must be based on like your activity within the community. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I want to take a minute here just to cover this comment from Pepe. He says, if you discover a bug or shortcoming in World Radio League, please take time to write a bug report. The WRL team appreciates your support. This is the only way to ensure that WRL remains high quality. Absolutely, 100%. We love getting feedback from you guys. If you see something that says there's an error here, we want to know about it because we want to make this thing as high quality as possible. Pepe has been absolutely bombarding us with some fantastic reports, and we really appreciate the support there. And so, we're always, we are always very appreciative to you guys for sending us reports on stuff that you find.
100%. And I'll say, like, sometimes you might think in your head, oh, I don't want to bug these guys because they're working hard. But the thing is, like, because we're working on so many things at the same time, even if it's a little issue that you're having, once you create a bug, it creates a ticket that we can then prioritize in. So mash that report a bug, or if you're not sure if it's a bug, or you're just like, hey, maybe this is just something I need to use differently. In that case, head over to the community and drop a chat.
Community or Discord. You can tag me or James or Brad in Discord or the community, either one. Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to chat with you over it. And Pepe also says, and that makes logging fun. Thank you to the WRL team doing an amazing job. Thank you, Pepe. We really appreciate your support and your feedback there. Thank you so much. Lewis says ban condition and ban plan should work by user country. We've got ban conditions works globally. Ban conditions is a global thing. Ban plan, that is something that we're actually, I think, aren't we working on that? Is
Yeah,
Ryan?
what we're gonna do for band plans is we're gonna drop the IARU links in there because
Yeah.
we're just not gonna I think there's like, first of all, we don't want to like take anybody's band plan and embed it in if it's like copyrighted or something, but we can at least provide some links to some other band plans that are like more relevant. So we're, as a first step, we're going to include like some IARU ones. Luis, are you in Brazil by chance? I wonder.
Yeah, let us know if you're in Brazil there.
Yeah, maybe there's
we'll
if anybody has an idea, like there's just not a really super good source of like, here's the band plan for every single country. So it might be just a matter of like kind of hunting them down and adding them into like a document database or like a, putting a database with links to all the PDFs or something. Maybe there is a way we could do that, but at least we want to get like a couple. Portugal. Okay. Perfeito. Muito obrigado, Luis.
Flex. James just flexed on stream. No, okay. Okay, so yeah. Oh, Jose. Hey, Jose. Good to see you. KD4 RVB. Almost missed it. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up here shortly. But and Brian says Canada's band plan is on the RAC website. There's David. I guess he's hollering back at you, James. I don't know.
Obrigado para você também, David.
Okay. So Chris asked if we can touch on the integration between the World Radio League desktop and website. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a similar idea to the mobile app. So currently on the mobile app, you can log completely offline. When you come back online, it'll sync all your logs to the cloud. That's kind of the idea. If you're online, it will sync them on straight to the cloud. If you're offline, it'll store them locally, and it'll store them locally either way. But when at any point you come online, they'll just sync everything together. So as far as, I think he was asking UI differences, kind of what's the what will show different between the two. Do you have any idea there, James, exactly what can you shed a little light on exactly what the UI differences are gonna be
for the
desktop app versus the desktop app versus the web app?
The desktop app, I think as we already have a skeleton, it's going to be too hard for me to open here, but it'll essentially be the same, but probably the first time you open it, you'll just open to a logbooks page instead of your main homepage. Yeah. But eventually what we want to do is do the same thing. So everything's going to write to the offline database first and then sync. Mm-hmm. But if you are online, if you're operating the desktop app and you happen to have an internet connection at the same time, then you should. The goal is to have it be just as fully featured as the web app, right?
Okay. So
we'll be able to use the same UI.
You won't get all your online stuff if you're offline, but if you're online, it's basically you get everything. Cool. Okay.
Not in V1, what you're going to see is basically the V1's going to be like the logbooks page, right? And the logging interface, you're spotting all of that. And then over time, we'll just start to copy those components
from there. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you for touching on that. I kind of had an idea where we were, but I wasn't exactly sure what we had landed on there. So that's good to know. Michael says the fireworks make up for being on Mac. Thanks, Michael. Okay.
My thing with Mac is you can just get so much bang for your buck with a Windows machine versus Mac. And so I get, I see that why people go the Mac route, but like, come on, Windows, I got 64 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, but is it faster?
Probably. I've got an NVIDIA GeForce.
But I'm telling you though, James, I've tried all kinds of Windows machines. I've had desktops, mini PCs, laptops. And I got this MacBook, and it's like nothing I have ever seen. I mean, it is so fast, so snappy, so smooth. It's just, and for not, you don't have nearly as much RAM and all that stuff. It's just, it just works.
Okay.
Especially the new system on a chip with the M series chips. But yeah, anyway, there's my little rant for the day. Yeah, there we go. I see what you're talking about earlier. Tom says he ended up with new user of the month in the community. Congrats, Tom, on that. That's awesome. Jacob asked if there's a special award for getting CEO of WRL in the log. Try it. Go find James when he's on the air, log him, and you'll see something really cool pop up if you're on the mobile. I think it's on the mobile and the web app now. So
I actually have Jacob in the log.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Jacob,
it's really cool.
Jacob, what's your call sign again?
Isn't it AI5XR? I think that's right.
5XR.
He's got a really cool.
Yeah,
we've got a really cool Easter egg there if you log him. So
let me pull him up. And if you guys haven't noticed this too, really cool thing is like when you look up some, like if I look up Jacob's profile here, it'll tell you right there. So you can write your own notes about the user. So quick there, it's like met Jacob at Huntsville Hamfest 2025. So this is going to be a note that's only visible to me, so you don't have to worry about other users reading your personal notes, right?
Yeah.
But then I have then this is a contact. So I worked him. Let's see. This was Friday, I guess, and contact confirmed. We got one of those instant confirmations, which is really cool. So I got him on. I got you on 20 meters because I think you were with the POTA Power. The POTA Power folks when I logged you.
Yeah. I want to spotlight this comment real quick. Pepe says, "Can it be that Andy and James are off topic?" We were talking about Windows versus Mac. Yeah, we can have a tendency to do that, Pepe. Oh man, that's funny. That's really funny. Adam says he says he just put in a request for a vanity call. If you don't know how to put in a request for a vanity call, run over and check out James's video on vanity calls. He did that one a few months back. That's a really good one. Yeah, Adam, I get why you don't like K06KJJ. That's like absolutely the worst. That's like the worst CW call I can think of. If you're like trying to send that in CW, that would be terrible. And I'm sorry, man. That's frustrating. I get why you want to do it. You do a vanity call. So hopefully that comes through for you. Okay. Okay. David's saying TCI is the protocol that's used with Sun SDR radios. Oh, let me grab a screenshot here. Whoops. I about left the stream by hitting the wrong button. But yeah, let me grab this. Let me grab this screenshot here so I can make a note of that. For my devs, and for our devs, and we can take a look there. We've got Brian saying, if you're going to submit a bug report, give as much detail as possible. Listen to him, and show how you found the bug. Repeatable bugs are easier to find than random ones. That is so absolutely true. Thank you for making the call out there. I think we said hey to Jose. Good to see you. Pepe says band plan. IARU regional would be perfect. So there you go, James. That's a good,
nice,
good feedback. Solid feedback for sure. Tom says makes it even more complex, but it would be really cool if the band plan module was filterable by license, class, and activity. If I'm an extra, I want to run SSB voice, what frequency ranges, etc. I like that. You know what you could do if you want to have the band plan available at all times. Over my shoulder here and James over your shoulder there, we've both got the World Radio League band plan hanging on our wall. So if you want that in your shack,
and also and I like where Tom's head at. It is tricky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I wish I also agree. I wish there was an easy way to do it. But I will say too, if you download the app and you click in the top, you do have the band plan. So
yes.
But of course, as we were just talking about with Pepe and some others, we do and Luis and Daniel, we need to add the other countries. But if you're in the app, you always do have the band plan. Even though I'm an extra, I still use this because sometimes if you're like calling CQ, or whatever, you might want to make sure that you're in the section where the generals can get you to, because you'll get more contacts if you go. Usually the very bottom of the band is like the extra
radios
only.
these days are restricted to keep you within the ham bands. So you probably, if you're in an extra, your radio is probably not going to let you get out of there. Most likely, if it's a modern radio. But yeah, absolutely, it is nice to be able to be calling CQ where the generals can find you, because that'll give you a whole lot more response. Ham DeLorean says, I don't know if it'd be a great or terrible idea to make a live messenger for hams, kind of like Yahoo Messenger without the bots. Go to community.worldradioleague.com. We've got live chats. You can hop in a chat there, and we need to expand that probably a little bit, James. Add some more chat topics and that type of thing. But yeah, we've got a chat system set up there with live chat down in the bottom. I think it's in the bottom. I want to say it's the bottom right corner of your chat screen. So, or your
it would be cool, like to expand it even to, like, if you're in a contest, you had like a contest specific chat or something. That would be pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yes, Brian said to get the quirky QRP band plan, Matt. it's I actually picked one of those up. That thing is so huge. It's absolutely massive. If you haven't seen that, James, you should go look that up. It's like people were kidding around that it was a yoga mat. It's absolutely gigantic.
I think I saw it on socials.
He sent me one of those, and yeah, it's kind of funny. It's so big, but it's good for setting your POTA gear up on. Oh, this is such a good question by Adam. Are there any debug tools built into the apps whose output would be useful when reporting bugs? That is such a good question. So if you can give us, if you're like on the web, if you can give us a time when this happened, when you were doing this and it happened, we actually have some debug tools on our end where we can look up that time and look at the logs and what was going on. And if you know how to open the inspect window on your browser, feel free to open that up and give us a screen recording or a screenshot of the output there when the bug happens. If it's that type of a bug, we can check that data as well. So really good question.
But even if you don't, we should be able to see it, because we
usually capture most of that.
We have some Sentry and some other bug tracking tools. So usually we'll catch it on our end.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brian says he was a Mac user for 10 years, then switched to AMD PC and run desktop Linux. Best of all worlds. AMD PC hardware and desktop Linux. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like Linux. It's good for like breathing life into old computers, but I haven't played with it enough to just love it. Mac, I know I shouldn't like it because it's such a gated, such a walled garden. But I use a Samsung phone though, and an Apple computer. I'm kind of the odd guy out, but yeah. But James, you're on the other side of that. You use an iPhone and a Windows computer, don't you? So.
Okay, but everybody has an iPhone. Come on. Well, anyway, I am going to have to jump from the stream, but so great to see everybody, and thanks everybody for the support.
Thanks for popping in here.
Thanks for the folks I got to see at Huntsville Hamfest, and we're going to keep working hard here. Like we have so many awesome things coming, so we're having a blast, and I'll see everybody soon. Absolutely. Take care, y'all.
See you, James. Thanks for hopping in.
Bye.
See ya. Then Adam also says he likes Mac OS for work because it just works, but also have a Win machine for specific purposes. Yes, I'm in the same shape at this point. I love my Mac OS because it just works, but there are things that do require Windows that I need to do. So I keep a Windows laptop pretty handy. There we go. Dave has Android. My man, Dave. Absolutely. The forced hardware upgrades on the Apple side. Forced hardware upgrades? Oh, my. Finally made me jump ship. Oh, maybe you're talking about the M series upgrades? I'm not sure. David says thanks. And Pepe says 7-3. I think you're talking to James. Guys, we've been going for an hour and 25, almost hour 26 minutes. Does anybody have any last minute things you want to throw at me? Keep me here another hour, or are we about out of discussion material? Anything else you want to throw at me, guys, before we call it a day? My timer right now is sitting at 1:26:15. Just hit 15. When that thing hits 1:27:15, guys, I'm going to start the wrap-up procedure. Anthony says, awesome job in 7-3. There we go. Oliver says, what's my dream radio? My dream radio. I would say, I don't know, probably an Elecraft. I would have to say Elecraft. Probably an Elecraft, either KX3, maybe a K1, KH1, basically anything Elecraft. Absolutely. I would love to get a hold of an Elecraft. David, I see you said you're chatting with me on World Radio League. I'm pulling up my my community account now. I'll respond to you here shortly. Adam says, thanks all, back to work. 7-3, Adam, good to see you. Good to see you. There we go. Send a message back to David here. Okay. Dave, thank you. Thank you for hopping in here. Yes, I would love to chat with you on the Virtual Ports Cat Control. Send me a Discord DM whenever. 7-3. Dave, I'm sorry. I was talking about David CT1DRB. Don't mean to be confusing, but he was chatting with me in the community page. So Dave KE6GAE, I'll expect a Discord DM from you later. So thanks everybody. 7-3. Have a great rest of your week, and I guess this is a good kickoff to a week. A nice ham radio Monday. So have fun, everybody. Have a good week. If you need anything, feel free to shoot us a message in the community or on Discord, or drop us a bug report, whatever you got. Just reach out. We've got people on standby to chat with you. So thanks. 7-3. Good to talk to everybody, and hope you have a great week. This is November 0 Alpha Papa X-Ray saying 7-3, and I'm clear.